Okay, James, so here's your pocket money for this week. There's £2 there.
Yes.
How are you going to spend it?
Well, I can't choose between Club Penguin cards and sweets.
Well, I suppose you've got to consider the opportunity cost.
Well, what's that?
Well, the opportunity cost is defined as the cost in terms of the next best alternative foregone when undertaking a course of action. Probably easiest if I use this etch-a-sketch here to show you on a little diagram. So what you're saying to me is that with your £2 of pocket money,
Yes.
you're not sure whether to spend it on Club Penguin cards or sweets or a combination of the two. So on the side here, we can have one of your options, Club Penguin cards. Yep. And at the bottom here, we'll put
Sweets.
Okay. And you could choose to spend all of your money on Club Penguin cards and none on sweets, or all of it on sweets and none on Club Penguin cards, or a combination of money spent on the two. Okay?
Yes.
And this is your production possibility frontier, what you could spend that £2 on.
Yeah.
So how did you spend the money last week?
£1.50 on Club Penguin cards and 50p on sweets, but my sweets got finished super quickly.
Right, okay, well, what you're saying to me is you spent 3/4 of the money, £1.50, on Club Penguin cards.
Yeah.
But that meant you could only spend 50p on sweets. So you only bought this much sweets, but this much Club Penguin cards. Okay? How are you thinking of spending the money this week?
£1.50 on sweets and 50p on Club Penguin cards.
Okay, so what you're saying is only 50p on Club Penguin cards this week so that you can spend the other 3/4 of the money on sweets. And so what you'd enjoy is an increase in the amount of sweets that you were able to purchase. But that would come at an opportunity cost, because instead of having this much in terms of Club Penguin cards, you'd only have this much. So you could show the opportunity cost on this diagram to be the difference between these 2 points here. Okay, and that's what you've got to consider, is having this much more sweets here worth having this much less in Club Penguin cards. Of course, this all assumes that you're careful with your money and make sure that you're able to use it to best effect. Imagine if I was to give you one of these 50p's and you were to lose it accidentally. Perhaps drop it in your trousers at the park or something, drop it out of your trousers. Then, that would be bad, wouldn't it? Because then you wouldn't be able to spend as much. You wouldn't have as much to spend. So, for example, you might only then have £1 to spend on sweets and the remaining 50p on Club Penguin cards. So instead of being able to choose a combination of things to buy that are right on the edge of the production possibility frontier, you would only be able to spend inside of it. You wouldn't be using the pocket money I'd given you efficiently because you'd lost 50p of it at the park. Alternatively, you could ask for ways to get more pocket money. For example, perhaps by offering to wash my car or to be involved in a lower sixth economics, microeconomics revision video.
Like I am now.
Like you are now, absolutely. And so if you were able to get me to agree to give you more pocket money, perhaps another 50p a week, say, then what you'd be able to do is spend a little bit more on either or both of the items that you're considering. So you'd actually have the option of buying more. Now, all of this, we need to take a moment to show my economists back at Freeman College how this relates to them and what they're studying. Because if we simply replace Club Penguin cards and sweets with things that a country's economy might consider producing, such as, for example, rice and wheat, and we take a moment to consider how the economy concerned won't just have money available to invest, but also its labour and its land, and we consider how they might choose to use those resources, they have a similar choice to you. They have to decide whether they want to spend less of their money and their land and their labour on, for example, rice, in order to be able to produce more wheat, for example. And is the extra wheat that they've produced worth the opportunity cost that they incur in terms of a reduction in their rice production? So there we are, that's opportunity cost and how it can be displayed on a production possibility curve. Thanks folks for listening and watching, and I hope you found that useful, and thank you James for being involved.